Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11, snow, snow, and more snow. It's important for everyone to be aware of Michigan's snow removal laws. Plus, with sub-zero temperatures comes danger. Police tell you how to stay safe in this extreme weather. And Alpena is in the spotlight on national television. See how long the fishing series filmed here in Alpena will continue running on the Outdoor Channel. We'll have those stories, plus your local weather and sports. WBKB News at 11 starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between, this is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. Your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
As the snow continues to fall, it's important for everyone to be aware of Michigan's snow removal laws. Good evening, I'm Ashley Reed. The Alpena County Sheriff's Office is reminding citizens of two important laws. One concerning depositing snow on a roadway and the other concerning the operation of a commercial snow removal vehicle. It's a 90-day $100 misdemeanor to deposit or cause to be deposited snow, ice, or slush on any roadway or highway. This includes all parts open to the public for travel, including the roadway shoulders, ditch slopes, and sidewalks. It's a 90-day $500 misdemeanor to operate a commercial snow removal vehicle on a public street, highway, or parking lot without meeting all requirements. The vehicle must have at least one flashing, rotating, or oscillating yellow or amber light that is clearly visible in a 360-degree arc from a distance of 500 feet when in use. The Alpena County Sheriff's Office would like to remind citizens that plowing snow across a roadway can create a slick or icy surface that can be hazardous to other drivers. And with freezing temperatures hitting hard across parts of the United States, police in Alpena are warning citizens about the dangers of sub-zero temperatures. The Alpena County Sheriff's Department says the best way to stay safe is to remain indoors and be prepared for events such as a power outage. Every home should have an emergency kit with food and water for at least 3 days, a battery-operated radio, flashlights, batteries, necessary medications, warm clothing, and blankets. For those who need to go outside, make it as brief as possible.
Obviously, with sub-zero temperatures, it's a lot easier to get hypothermia and frostbite. We just want citizens to take the extra precautions. If they do have to go outside, to make sure that they're bundled up, wear multiple layers of loose-fitting clothing.
Try to cover any exposed skin with a hat, scarf, and gloves. Watch for signs of frostbite, which include loss of feeling or pale appearance, and signs of hypothermia, which include uncontrollable shivering, memory loss, and exhaustion. And traveling in snow, ice, and sub-zero temperatures is not recommended, but police remind those who must travel to be prepared. Below zero temperatures reduce the effectiveness of salt in melting the snow and ice, making road conditions more dangerous. Keep a full tank of gas and an emergency kit in your vehicle. Also, be sure to fully charge your cell phone before leaving and let someone know where you're going and what time you're expected to arrive. If you do become stuck or stranded, stay in your car and call 911, or if you don't have phone service,
a couple things that you can do if there's any houses near where your vehicle's at, see if you can seek help there. If you can't do that and you have some kind of bright clothing or a bright towel or anything, you can attach that to your windshield or to your antenna, and hopefully that will flag somebody down or a responder.
Alpena County Sheriff's deputies will be patrolling and responding to any emergencies during this extreme winter weather. Some people are bundling up and taking advantage of the snow, putting on their skis and snowshoes. Yesterday, a Shoe Year's Day event was held at Rockport State Recreation's Besser Natural Area in Presque Isle County. The community was invited to come put on their snowshoes or cross-country ski on the snow-covered trails. This event was an effort to get people outside to exercise, enjoy the fresh air, and see what recreational activities go on in the state parks during the winter.
We've got a really great space here with a lot of cool places to see, so it's really great to invite people out and they're going, well, where is this? You know, and these are people that lived out here for years, so it's us taking and introducing them to their own backyard.
This Shoe Year's Day event is being held at several state parks throughout Michigan this week. This is the 4th event held this year at Rockport State Recreation Area in an effort to encourage more people to explore all the park has to offer. Other activities people can enjoy throughout the entire year are mountain biking, hiking, horseback riding, and kayaking. Those who'd rather be inside and away from the snow gathered to watch Alpena on national television. Yesterday was the premiere of the Outdoor Channel's first episode of their 2014 Major League Fishing Series featuring Hubbard Lake, Grand Lake, and Long Lake. Fletcher Street Brewing Company and Latitudes Tavern will serve as official viewing party locations every Saturday as each new episode airs. The community can come together to watch pro bass anglers like Tim Horton, Boyd Duckett, and Skeet Reese compete to win the General Tire Summit Cup.
This is something that Alpena has never experienced before. Our town and some of our natural resources being highlighted on national television to an audience that could potentially come here and visit and will come and visit. So we want the whole community to understand really what that means and get involved and get excited.
A new episode will air every Saturday from 3 to 4. Yesterday, Alabama pro Tim Horton hauled in 23 pounds 11 ounces of bronze backs to earn the spot of Day 1's top qualifier. There will be a viewing party for the championship episode on February 8th at Northern Lights Arena. For those of you still hanging on to those pretty Christmas trees, it's important to know how to dispose of them. The city is no longer offering curbside Christmas tree pickup. City residents can drop off their trees beginning Tuesday at the Public Works Service Center. That's located at 1001 Long Lake Avenue. They will be open for drop-off Tuesday, January 7th through Friday, January 10th from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. City officials ask that you remove all metal hooks, ornaments, stands, nails, and plastic bags before saying goodbye to your Christmas tree. Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, cleanup continues for a tanker that crashed on I-69 Thursday. I'll let you know what's still closed. Plus, the Senate is expected to vote this week on the next Federal Reserve chair, and the current Fed chair is expecting economic growth. Welcome back. In state news, the Michigan Department of Transportation investigators have completed their cleanup work after a recent tanker fire. The major crash in Genesee County's David Township forced authorities to close I-69 between Irish and Belsey roads in each direction. Rescue crews responded to the scene of a semi-truck hauling hazardous hydrogen sulfide gas that went over an I-69 guardrail, crashed onto Irish Road, and then exploded. That crash happened around 11 a.m. Thursday. Authorities shut down I-69 in both directions between Belsey and M15 until the bridge could be inspected for structural integrity. Steel samples taken from the beams on the I-69 bridge over Irish Road show no structural damage. Crews have placed a temporary barrier wall on eastbound I-69. The schedule for that required repair work is yet to be determined. However, all I-69 lanes are now open. Northbound lanes will remain closed on Irish Road between Lapeer Road and Court Street for several days to facilitate ongoing cleanup. Unconfirmed reports also indicate the driver was able to get away from the scene of the explosion safely. In your Money Watch, the Senate is expected to vote this week on the nomination of Janet Yellen to be the next Federal Reserve Chair. Current Fed Chief Ben Bernanke ends his second four-year term January 31st. In one of his final speeches as Fed Chair, Bernanke said that he foresees stronger economic growth this year. He also said Americans' finances have improved and the outlook for home sales is brighter. Later in the week, we'll get the minutes from the Fed's most recent meeting. During the November meeting, the Fed decided the economy is strong enough that it can begin to slowly taper its economic stimulus program by reducing the amount of bonds the agency buys each month. The government may deregulate genetically engineered crops. The government is considering lifting restrictions on corn and soybean seeds that are genetically engineered to resist a common weed killer known as 2,4-D. That's welcome news to farmers, but scientists and environmentalists fear it could lead to the use of more chemicals on crops. Gas prices dropped a few cents here in Alpena today. GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan put together local and state gas prices. The highest price for gas in Alpena is coming in at $3.42 at Shell. The lowest is at $3.41 at Admiral. Highs and lows across Michigan stayed exactly the same as yesterday. Highest gas price, $3.79 in Romulus. Lowest price is coming in at $3.03. That's in Detroit. There's still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Jeff Kolb will be here with a look at sports. And more snow today. I'll let you know how this winter storm is going to affect you. Stay tuned for your weather forecast. Thanks for joining us. It's time now for a look at the weather. Lots of snow and cold temperatures across many of our surrounding states. Here, I don't want to say that it was mild here in Alpena. However, temperatures weren't quite as bad as some other surrounding areas. Today, we hit a high of 22, low of 16. pretty close to normal temperatures. Normal high for January 5th, 27 degrees. Normal low, 13 degrees. Record high for this day, that was 50 degrees. That was back in 2007. Record low, 16 below. That was back in 1959. Sunrise this morning was at 8:13. Sunset this evening around 5:07. Taking a look at the current conditions here in Alpena, currently 19 degrees, but with those northwest winds around 13 miles per hour, it really feels like 2 degrees outside. And moving into our satellite and radar, you can see this big block of snow finally moved into our area. It was staying south of us for the most part, hitting a lot in Indiana. I know, at least from Indianapolis to northern Indiana, they got hit pretty bad today. Illinois as well. And now it's our turn. We will see snow showers tonight. 8 degrees for our low. However, wind chills could hit as low as 6 below. North winds around 15 to 25 miles per hour. New snow accumulation of about 4 inches possible tonight. And then in tomorrow, the snow will continue. High of 10 degrees. However, wind chills could get as cold as 16 below. Northwest winds around 15 to 20 miles per hour. New snow accumulation of about 2 inches. It looks for tomorrow. And then moving into tomorrow night, chance of snow about 30%, -4 degrees for our low, and that's without the wind chill. With the wind chill, it could get as cold as 22 below. West winds around 15 miles per hour, so make sure you're bundling up if you do have to go outside these next few days. Taking a look at the week ahead in our extended weather forecast, Tuesday we see a 30% chance of snow showers. Mostly cloudy, 8 degrees for the high, 0 for our low, and Tuesday staying cold. Wind chill values could hit as low as 24 below. Then we'll finally see some sunshine with a chance of snow through Friday. Finally get up to 31 degrees on Friday. That's going to feel pretty warm, seeing the temperatures we would have had over the past few previous days before that. 24 for the low, and then Saturday, chance of snow, mostly cloudy, 35 degrees for the high and 22 degrees for the low. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent by Esther Donald Briggs. She sends us this picture of the clouds this morning during her Sunday morning walk on North Point Shores Road. Esther says it pays to look up every once in a while and enjoy the view. What a cool cloud formation. Thank you, Esther, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo you would like to send us, just email a photo along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com. In your Health Watch, vitamin E could help Alzheimer's patients with their daily activities. A new study in JAMA looked at a group of about 600 patients with mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease. Those who received vitamin E had about a 20% slower decline in their functional abilities.
Individuals who had mild disease had benefits in things like cooking, planning their day, traveling.
Researchers also found the time caregivers spent with patients was reduced about 2 hours a day. New research finds that doctors don't spend enough time talking about sexual health with their teen patients. Researchers at Duke found that less than 2/3 of doctors even bring up the subject, and when they do, the conversation often lasts less than 1 minute. And a new study examining the dangers of distracted driving finds drivers are multitasking about 10% of the time. That includes eating, using cell phones, or texting. Research in the New England Journal of Medicine shows that the risk is greatest for newly licensed teen drivers. In national news, it's supposed to be cold in the winter, but some of the bone-chilling temperatures gripping the Midwest are creating life-threatening situations. CBS's Allison Harmelin has the latest from New York.
More than 2,000 customers lost power in Minot, North Dakota Sunday morning with the temperature at 20 below zero. Utility crews acted fast and got the lights and heat back on in a few hours. Across the Midwest, an unusual weather pattern called a polar vortex is dropping wind chill temperatures to a mind-numbing 50 below.
These cold temperatures can cause frostbite and hazardous situations within minutes.
Chicago got blasted with more snow, and temperatures there could dip to 15 below overnight.
It is dangerously cold.
What are you going to do? Weather nature, right?
It's the same frigid weather in Indianapolis, where the mayor is urging everyone to stay home on Monday when temperatures will plummet. The bitter cold is not stopping NFL fans in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The game-time temperature for the 49ers-Packers playoff game was in the single digits, making it one of the coldest games in league history.
Let's make a single line right here. Let's line up.
At the airports, delays and cancellations continue across the nation. More than 2,000 flights were canceled on Sunday, and more are expected as the deep freeze returns to the Northeast over the next few days. Allison Harmelin for CBS News.
It is so cold, highway officials say rock salt is not very effective on icy roads. Well, sports is coming up next. Jeff Kolb is here with a preview of what's ahead. What do you have for us, Jeff?
A former Wildcat hockey player has been helping the Street Cats. His story coming up. Plus, the Thunder Bay Rec Bantam AA squad hitting the ice twice today. Highlights of that and more straight ahead here on WBKB. It's been an up and down season for the Thunder Bay Rec Bantam AA team, but today, Thunder Bay trying to start the new year right, hosting the Sioux for a doubleheader. The Recs falling 4-3 to the Sioux in their early game. The late game not starting much better. Mid-first period, Bobby Price scoring on the rebound. Sioux up 1-0, but the home squad bouncing back in the second. Rhett McDonald finding Brendan Nelson for the equalizer on the power play. And at the other end, Fletcher Bolda clamping down in net and finishing with 18 saves. Then the offense getting back to work. McDonald's shot deflected in by Race Jacobs, giving the Recs their first lead of the game. A couple minutes later, it's Jacobs again, this time from Nelson. Thunder Bay up 3-1, and Nick Adrian supplying the cherry on top, sneaking the puck in right at the end of the period as the Recs take this one easily, 5-1.
We do best at just shooting the puck and passing it and moving it around.
We have to get that goal and have the team pumped up. Go get another one. At the beginning of the year, we weren't the greatest, but as the season went on, we got we came back, and I love playing with my teammates, and coaching's great.
Playing junior hockey is an opportunity only certain players get to experience, and one local athlete is taking it all in as the newest Street Cat. WBKB's Shannon McGrattan has the story.
From Ferris State's club team to the Midwest Junior League, Garrett Bailey's hockey career continues.
Any opportunity I can, I'd take it for in the future playing hockey, because that's really what I love to do.
He's a fun, happy kid, very passionate. This kid, he'll just eat, sleep, dream hockey. You know what? He'll take somebody's spot. He's pushing people to be better and to practice harder.
Creating a great opportunity for himself.
With the training he's getting now and the skill set, the skills he's developing, he has a chance to play at a higher level. Just has good sense, really good hockey sense.
That showed during his first weekend with the team when he finished with 5 assists for 5 points.
I didn't know how far I could go with it. I just played hard, and I ended up being good enough, so lucky enough I can play with the Street Cats.
He keeps shooting the puck. The puck's going to end up in the back of the net sooner or later. But, he plays hard, and I want him to stay the rest of the season.
In Alpena, Shannon McGrattan, WBKB Sports.
This week, the Street Cats added 3 more players to their roster to help the team finish its season strong before hopefully making a long postseason run. Switching to basketball, the best word to sum up the Michigan hoop season so far is the I word, injuries. The Wolverines welcoming Northwestern to the Chrysler Center this afternoon. Michigan showing some healthy passing early. Spike Albrecht behind the back to the dunking Nick Stauskas, and the bench is loving it, as you can see. Then there's the hustle. Josh Morgan laying out for the loose ball, and that leads to the easy bucket for Glenn Robinson III. Wolverines up by 5, and things continuing to go south for Northwestern after the break. Zach Irvin lofting the rock to Robinson for the alley-oop. Michigan outscoring Northwestern by 16 after halftime, winning 74-51 to stay perfect in the Big Ten. To the NBA, Pistons hosting the Grizzlies. Andre Drummond hyped up for basketball in 2014, and he wasn't the only Detroit big with energy early. First quarter, Greg Monroe gets the defensive board, then throws it down at the other end. He had 19. Pistons go up by a pair. In the second, Detroit adding to the lead. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope rattling in the 3 right here. Pistons up by 5 at the half, but the Grizzlies coming out in the third in beast mode. Tayshaun Prince jamming in his former palace, and Tayshaun doing it on defense too. He takes the charge right here. Memphis holding Detroit to just 28 points after the break as the Pistons start the new year with a 112-84 loss. Looking ahead to tomorrow, high school hoops were supposed to start heating up again, but a lot of games in jeopardy because of the weather. One-loss Hillman is supposed to be at undefeated Posen. Right now, the game is still on. A decision won't be made for sure either way until tomorrow. Meanwhile, Fairview at Oscoda has been canceled. No word so far as of tonight on Augrey Sims at Mayo, but Atlanta has been canceled, both school and the game against Alba. For the girls, the Alcona game at Tawas has been postponed to January 28th. While Rogers City has no school, but the Hurons haven't canceled their home game with Onaway. Tune in tomorrow night for all those highlights and scores at 11. Finally, ESPN, among several sources reporting this morning, the Lions have a top choice they hope to land as their next head coach, and that would be San Diego offensive coordinator Ken Wisenhunt. Detroit hopes to meet with him once the Chargers, who won their playoff game today, are done. Wisenhunt has 6 years of head coaching experience in Arizona and led the Cardinals to their only Super Bowl appearance in franchise history. But one thing, maybe it's a good thing that he's still in the playoffs and the Lions aren't going to interview him now, because I don't know if he'd want to make that transition from San Diego to Detroit right now.
The weather here right now. I think that might be tough.
Yeah. So, but a lot of people think he would be a really good choice, and I know that he used to play actually with the general manager for the Lions. So
you agree?
So we'll see. He could be a good choice. A lot of good choices out there. So
we won't put you on the spot.
We're still waiting. So.
All right. Well, coming up next on WBKB News at 11, a dog treading water about a mile offshore in Tampa. Not what some fishermen expected to find. That story when we return. Welcome back. Well, imagine being out on a boat, looking out on the water, and seeing a dog's snout. That's what some fishermen stumbled across this week in the waters of Tampa Bay. A little dog that was treading water about a mile offshore, and no one knows for sure how long. She is safe and sound now and waiting to be reunited with her owner, who may not even realize she's still alive. Her name is Baby, according to her tag and collar. There's a number on the back of the tag with the 305 area code, but her rescuers say that number is disconnected. A scan also revealed a microchip, but that number doesn't work. It all seems to lead to one dead end after another. Anthony Basil took her in from the fisherman who spotted her out in the waves. Basil estimates the little dog had been in the water for 6 to 8 hours.
Put towels on her, put warm towels on her, put the heat on in the boat, and she shook for 10 hours straight.
Basil said he will keep her as long as he can, hopeful that he can get her back to her rightful owner.
Not exactly what you expect when you go out fishing.
No, not at all. In a mile offshore, that little dog had to be trucking for a while in the water.
Weird aspects. That's a microchip in
your
your dog.
They said she had on a little pink sparkly collar and her little pink bone with her name on it. So it sounds like she had an owner, but
hopefully she can be found. Or
there we go.
So remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on more news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
That's all we have for you tonight, but be sure to catch Kelsey Fabian here tomorrow morning on 11.3. Stay warm and enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.